Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for Try It Tuesday. This is part 2 of my summer Michigan trip from 2024, so stick around. What's up, friends? It's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this video. I am going to be creating a process for these next couple of days to document our trip to Michigan this past summer. So I have already printed out photos and pulled supplies that I'd like to use to tell these stories. And if you watched my last video, well, you should go back and watch it if you missed it, because I had quite the debacle with this photo that's sitting on top. I had to reprint of Nora and her cousin Fiona because I had created it to be added on to the front of a different photo in the previous day, which was not what I wanted to do. I wanted the photo for this day, not the day before. So the day that I'm talking about right now that I'm documenting is June 29th. The day that I put it on incorrectly was the 28th. So I had to kind of finagle my way out of that one. So now I'm going to be creating the correct flip up feature for this story using the photo that I reprinted and just some good old Scotch tape. So I went through and decided to put one of these cards from the Fun Story Kit on the bottom of the flip up, which says Finding My Own Fun. It coordinates perfectly with the circle that I am going to be using on the right side, which is going to sit on top of that beautiful white paper with the black crisscross pattern. So obviously this is the back of day of June 28th. So this story is from June 29th. So I had the page protector already. So I was basing the logistics for how I was going to tell this part of the story on the fact that I needed to use this page protector, the back side. So I've got a photo of Nora inside Horrocks, which is one of our favorite local markets and where I got this sticker from that's going to go right on the pocket there over the shakers. And then a photo of my husband and his twin brother Jesse outside at lunch. And then the flip up is Nora and Fiona, her cousin, outside at lunch. And so is the bottom photo. It's a picture of Nora doing Fiona's hair, which I'm so glad I captured because I think it's just the sweetest. So here's the circle I was talking about that has that same really fun pattern with the blues and greens. I love, love, love this pattern. I wish it was a patterned paper, but it's not. So I'm creating a little pocket to hold some photos that I printed out. And I am cutting a slit in the top so that the photos can tuck right in there. And then I keep the photos in there because I'm going to use those as a guide so that I don't put the double-sided tape where I do not want it on the back. That way, when I pull the photos in and out of this pocket that I made, they will not stick to the tape. So I just use my double-sided tape there, and I'm going to kind of play around a little bit with the embellishments that I've gone through and picked out. They're from a variety of collections. So the plastic circles are from, I want to say, the Explorer Story Kit last year. The circle chipboard is, I'm not sure, honestly. I can't remember what story kit that's from or if it's even a Stories by the Month. The lime and lemon die cuts are from Vicky Bouton's Where to Next travel collection from 2 years ago. The floral chipboard circle is from Studio Calico, and the foam thicker sticker that's in the top left corner of my screen is from like an American Crafts thicker set. Don't ask me which one because I don't know. I basically just went through my stash and tried to pull as many circular embellishments of varying shades of yellow, green, or blue, and just created this diagonal sort of movement across the page, with the photo obviously being the focal point of this page. So I'm just creating a cluster with all of the embellishments that I've pre-selected. I am going to add in some more because, of course, you know, I've got a basic layout, but I love to over-embellish. So I ended up pulling out this huge collection of die cut pieces from Vicky Bouton. Most of these are from the Where to Next collection. I think there might be like 2 sets of die cuts in this plastic envelope I have because, yeah, I had a lot. and I've clearly hardly used it. So, and I love the colors. I did use some of it in like my Disney album last year, which is another really fun Try It Tuesday series if you want to check that out. But I was just looking for something to do some journaling on and then seeing if there was anything else I wanted to add. So you're just going to see me kind of go through all of these different die cut pieces until I settle on a couple. I also am going to add some word phrase sticker strips. So you can kind of see the yellow one peeking in the top corner, left corner of my screen there. I have yellow and green. They're older word phrase sticker sets. I don't know which collection they're from. I just have them all in rainbow order in one of my organizers on my desk. So I picked yellow and green, obviously, to go with the color theme. And I'm going to kind of just play around. And I decide to use this extra little piece of the lemon that I cut off the top on the bottom. And I love how it creates just this, it's this diagonal movement. And I think it gives your eye a nice place to rest because the left side of this story turned out busier than I wanted it to because I wasn't really thinking it through, guys. I love the shaker pocket and the colors for the front of the story, which if you remember was like pinks and purples, hence the colors in the shaker pocket. But then you can peekaboo and see through, right, which is a fun feature, except that the pattern paper and the colors and even like the floral trim that are behind it for the 28th are a very different color scheme than what I'm working on right now. It's fine. It works. It's not terrible. It just isn't maybe as cohesive looking as I'd like. I tried when I go and add some more embellishments to make it happen and kind of make the left page protector side coordinate well with the right side, but I'm not quite sure that I achieved the fluidity that I wanted between the two pages. It's totally fine though. I do really like the way this turned out, and I decided to use some of these word phrases. You can see that I distressed it. I put it up on some foam tape, and then I added the other piece of this floral chipboard circle. And then I have the journaling on the blue tag there that I pulled from the Vicky Buchan collection, added some light blue baker's twine to that one, and just journaled about that the girls were ready to go swimming and we swam until it was time for dinner. And then the left side of the spread I'm going to start to embellish. So you'll see once I get my journaling and I stamp everything on the little blue tag that I'm going to be auditioning out pieces that I think will make sense to tie the left side into the right. So you can see there what I was talking about, how the top left peekaboo shaker pocket colors don't necessarily lend themselves to coordinating with all the blues, yellows, and greens. But like I said, it is what it is, and it's going to stay the way it is. So we're going to just embrace it. You can see I'm adding some little word phrase stickers onto the photos here. I put free and fresh on the first picture, and then on the picture of my husband and Nora, I put this feels so good and remember this. And then on the photos, what I end up settling on is I had already added the fresh air tab to the picture of Nora and Fiona for the flip up at lunch. And I put the word fun on there, distressed that. And I also used the Giving Thanks for Fun circle. I really, really wanted to include a circle, and it was the perfect shade, so that made sense. And I'm going to use the Escape the Ordinary tag. So I'm going to distress those pieces, and then I decide it still needs a little something something. So I go into my collection of enamel dots and little tiny sticker embellishments, and I pull out these enamel stickers that are little and adorable from Obed Marshall's collection with American Crafts. I forget if it's Buenos Dias. I think it's from Buenos Dias. And they're the perfect colors to add on. So I just sprinkled a few on the circle page, if you will. I guess that's what we're calling it, the page of circles. And then I add a bunch to the die cut embellishments that are going to go on top of the pictures on the page to the left. So you can see there I'm adding just a couple. Yay, I found my Laurel Denise tweezers, so life is good. I'm so happy I found them. I mentioned it in one of my other videos. They had fallen off of my desk into one of my plastic folders, and I happened to see them. So that was a very, very happy moment for me. Isn't it just like the best feeling when something's been missing and you finally found it? Like, it's nothing like it. So I reinforced some of those enamel dots with my glue pen just to make sure that they didn't pop off. And then I can go and work on adding some finishing touches to the left side of the spread. While you see me doing that, I will read my journaling to you that I wrote on the underside of the flip up, the one that says finding my own fun. I wrote, Matt, Nora, and I did a little shopping, then met up with Fiona, Jesse, and Sam at Horrocks. We got some groceries and stocked up on tons of candy to take back home. We all got lunch at Horrocks. They had an outside bar, several places to eat, and beautiful patio spaces. It was stress-free, so much fun to relax all together. So I love the picture of Nora doing Fiona's hair. She had asked her if she could put it up in a ponytail, and Fiona was like, sure. So I just think if that doesn't embody like kids being kids and girls being girls in the summer, you know, it's just so cute. So the stickers I put on that picture say the magic and documenting these moments. And then I think those are the only word phrase stickers I'm using on this portion of the spread. The last thing I do is stamp the date on top of the fresh air tab, just because it made sense. There was like space to do that. And I didn't want to leave out the date, even though this is in chronological order. I got to stamp that date, man. I got to have it there. What if Nora's looking at it years later and is like, when was this? I failed to put the date. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be the end of the world, I'm sure. So then I'm going to show you a close-up of everything with all the embellishments, all the stickers, all the things in real time. I really love that I chose to go with all of these bright colors. I think it's perfect. And this picture of Matt and his twin brother is hilarious. This is my favorite page so far out of all the pages I've put together. And by all, I mean like the 4 or 5 that I've done. Oh my goodness. I just love it. I love a good cluster. It was really fun. And then I'm showing you what it looks like in the album. And now I'm going to move on to the second half of this video where I'm telling the story of June 30th, which was the day that we had my grandmother-in-law's 90th birthday party. And I had a hard time with this one. It's another one of those like, geez, this is not really my favorite and I kind of want to redo it, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to narrate through it and try not to say cringe a million times because that's kind of how I feel about the way this turned out. I feel cringe. This pattern paper is from the Art Walk collection from Heidi Swap, which is like, I don't even know how long ago that came out, but I was looking for some kind of pink paper because there's so many colors. I could have made these photos black and white. Maybe I should have done that. But Nora and I had matching strawberry dresses, and I wanted to highlight the fact that we wore matching strawberry dresses that were so stinking cute. So I was going for like pink, plus the big banner in the back is all about things that happened in 1934, which is when Matt's grandmother was born. You can see that main picture of us with his grandmother, Carolyn, rest in peace. She actually just passed away, and her husband, Jack. So this story I wanted to do justice because she literally had just passed away. She went into hospice on Christmas Eve when we were in Michigan visiting, and so we knew that she was not going to, you know, make it for much longer, and she recently did pass about 2 weeks ago now. And so we'll be going back out, actually not till April, for her memorial services. There are several reasons for that there, but suffice it to say, she lived a very full life, and we were really grateful to be able to celebrate her turning 90 all together with the entire family. So that's what these stories are about for the 30th of June. And so I use this ombre pinkish magenta paper, and I couldn't find a 90 that I liked, so I decided to stamp them out. In hindsight, I wish I had done it with white ink, not black. So that's one thing where I first was like, okay, that's my first mistake, going with black ink. We don't love that for me. And then I ended up really just I tried to make it work. I tried to, again, it was like a situation where both sides of the spread, I really, really wanted to look cohesive, and they just, I feel like it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what I could have done differently, but it's just not my fave. It just isn't. I'm looking at it now and thinking, what could I do to add to it? And maybe I'll do something later and make some changes. And then when I do a final flip through of my completed trip for this part of the 2020 or 2023-2024 summer travel album, when I do a flip through of this, maybe you'll see the changes. So anywho, fussy cutting out the 90, and then like, okay, I know I want to create a flip up with the photo of my family with Jack and Carolyn, and then underneath is the photo of everybody, most of the people actually, who were there as family. There were lots of friends that they had there as well, but this was the family photo. So I wanted to include those two 4x6 pictures, but beyond that, I really honestly and those little 2x2 photos, or they're not even 2x2. I think they're 1.25 by 1.75 by 1.75 square photos that are on the right. I sized those in the print to size app, and then printed them out at home. I'm going to cut them and use them in those film strip looking plastic pieces from Studio Calico. But for this side of the spread, I really did not know what the heck I was going to do. So you'll see that gets translated in the final results, because it still does not look cohesive to me. I felt like I was trying to make something happen that just really didn't translate, which is fine. It is what it is. But I really wanted to use that darn strawberry paper. So that paper is from a Paige Evans collection. And then I just used it to back the flip up portion of this spread. And then you saw me cut out the This Was Fun card and use my corner rounder to create a little rounded effect. Just for, I don't know, just for a little something extra. I kind of like the way it looks when it's on top of a very square or rectangular sharp edged piece of paper. I just like the way the rounded edges look. So I rounded all the corners of the strawberry paper, rounded the edges of the top photo that flips up, and then journaled on the underside in the This Was Fun 4x6 card. I journaled that on Sunday we packed up and drove to Gaylord. It was about 2.5 hours north. I was able to help Lori set up for the party, which was nice. It was held at their church. All the cousins got to play and run around outside. I didn't really socialize since I was in the kitchen and helping cut cake, clean, etc. Grandma Carolyn was over the moon excited. She looked like a queen on her throne, crown, sash, and all. It was truly special. Lori tasked me with the responsibility of finding a place to eat. After a little bit of research, I was able to make us reservations at the Duck Blind Grill located on Gorgeous at Seago Resort. We had a huge private room, the food was delicious, and all the cousins were able to sit together. I was proud of myself for helping, and will always remember this day. All right, so while I was reading the journaling, you could probably see my struggle with the hello there. I didn't like the way it looked. I pulled it off of a very old Thickers sticker pack, and I just picked it because obviously it's pink and it matches. So then it says hello 90, and I didn't like the way the hello looked on the paper, so I added the little plastic banner from the February Stories by the Month kit, and I think it adds just like a little grounding piece for the hello word. So then I'm going to add, now's where I'm going to just start to try to embellish things. So I added the little tab. It's a black tab, trying to bring in black because I stamped with black ink, and it says family. And then I have this other old thicker set, which I feel like, gosh, is this a Maggie Holmes maybe? Honestly, I don't remember, but I love these stickers and I love the colors. So it worked well because there were some green hearts and then this green puffy sticker that says the sweetest day, which was perfect. So I put that on top of the photo, added a couple of puffy hearts, which I'm, of course, going to change my mind about one of them later and move it over to the right side of the spread. And then I ended up covering up, or I needed to add like a little something to the photo underneath. So there was also a little bit of scratching or marks on the top of the picture. So I covered it up with the typed die cut word phrase that says evidence of something fun. So that worked nicely to, kill two birds with one stone. You can see kind of there where the scratches are. So I can cover that up, but also add a little bit of, an embellishment to the picture. And that's all I'm going to do for the left side. And then I can work on the right side, which again, very stumped. All I knew at this point was that I wanted to use these small photos and put them inside the plastic, like film strip die cut, if you will. I'm not sure what you call them, but to me they look like old school film strips, like Fujifilm or like a, what was the other brand? Kodak. Like that's what these plastic pieces look like to me. But I think they're a really fun way of housing a lot of photos without, you know, looking too boring. So I think it adds a little something. But again, does it necessarily match the left side? Not really. Not really, because I ended up choosing this green paper, which I wanted green. I wanted pink and green. It's my two favorite like colors with each other in design. I just love the color green next to the color pink. So I thought I'm going to use this green paper. This one is from an older Vicky Bouton collection. And yeah, that's the background paper for all the photos. But again, I'm not thrilled. I don't love the way it turned out. So I chose this light pink plastic piece and then the sort of bright magenta pink or fuchsia. I don't know what color pink, but it's hot pink. We'll go with hot pink. Why not? And then I'm just going to decide what order I want to place all these photos in. And they're obviously just photos from the day. So some are from the party itself at the church and some are from dinner at the resort that we had all together. And I'm just going to tape them to the back sides of the plastic piece with some good old Scotch tape. And then I will adhere it to the green paper that I had trimmed down with the double-sided tape. All right, so now I edited all that out because that would have been boring, but I did make sure all the photos were stuck to the back of the strips here. And now I need to figure out what the heck I'm going to do for embellishing this this page. I got the photos and now I'm like, and scene. Nope, just kidding. We need to add something. First, let me get my life together and adhere these down to the paper so that I can then figure out what comes next. What's going to come next, I've decided, is the Yeah Fun little die cut piece on the left and then the Seriously So Fun circle die cut piece on the right. Those are going to flank the sides of each of these strips of photos. I'm going to distress them with my little distressing tool from Tim Holtz Ranger. And then I'm going to go back to that Puffy Thickers sheet that I used to embellish on the left to try to find some pieces that will work on the right side so that both of these sides look like they can go together. Again, not sure I achieved that. So it's okay. I am trying to be okay with it. Clearly I'm not, but I'm trying. So once I get those two down, then I'm going to pick through the thickers on here. I put this Celebrate This banner, which I thought was the perfect sentiment. Trying to separate, like scatter them a little bit so all the little embellishments are not on top of each other or like directly next to each other. So sort of trying to balance the embellishments all over the page. I am going to add this little polka dot bow, trying again to bring in a little bit of black detail, which I think works because the text on the die cuts from the Fun Story kit are in black, so I feel like that does work, even though they're from two very different collections. And then there's the same sort of plate sticker that I used on the left that says The Sweetest Day. This one says I love you, so that's all the cousins with Grandma Carolyn. I love that picture so much. And then I pulled that pink heart on the left side over to the right because I didn't like the way it looked. So on the left side, it's just going to have two green puffy hearts. And then that third pink heart, I'm going to take off the photo and put on the right side. The very last touch I'm going to add is some pink pom-pom trim on the edge of this page. Again, trying to contain it and make it look like it's cohesive. Not sure that happened. I would love to know your thoughts. Please weigh in. Definitely give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the bell so you don't miss any of my content. I'm sure I'll be coming out with another one of these videos very soon, probably next Tuesday. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Remember that you are enough. Bye.